Today, Kenya Pipeline started trading at Nairobi Securities Exchange after our president rang the bell to signal that it's live in the MSC. And how did it perform? The IPO price was 9, but the moment it went live, the opening price was around 9.30. Sorry, I'm doing this analysis when the market is already closed. Today I've had a very busy day. We are burying one of my nephews, so I've not been able to sit down. So the stock, this means that the stock opened at 3% higher than the IPO price, signaling that the investors were willing to pay a premium immediately after the listing. However, during early trading hours, it moved between 9:30 to 9:40 range, which is 3 to 4% increase. And if you compare with the previous IPOs, Kina Kengen, Kina Safaricom, by the way, Kengen, the first day it traded, ilienda mpaka 40 bob, and the IPO price was 11.90. So I can say that it performed a bit lower than those other IPOs. But it's not as bad as we thought. So why did the KPC didn't surge like the Kina Safaricom or Kina Kengen? The Safaricom, I think you can remember those people who bought the IPO thing. There were a lot of many retail investors who bought the IPO, and there was for subscription, and people used to get very little shares. I can remember I only got 500. I can't remember I had applied for how much. So there were millions of investors who rushed to buy because, of course, they were given very little. You can imagine 500 and maybe you had applied for 10,000. So that's what made those to surge. However, KPC modest gain suggests that the IPO may have been priced close to its perceived value, I don't know, reducing the chance of a huge first day spike. Another reason could be, if you check the analysis that I did, the institutional investors were given a whopping 41%. So they are the ones who are dominating the share, which typically results to more stable trading than retail investors. Maybe they want to do what? To speculate, as in you are buying a share so that you make your money and sell. But now these are institutional investors, 41%. The retail investors got 2.56. So after this, there are 3 things that you need to watch. The first thing is the trading volume. High trading volume means that there is strong market participation. Today, if you look at KPC, the trading volume was around, say, approximately 2 million, which is not so bad. I can call it average. It's not so bad for a share on the first day. But if you compare with Kina Safaricom and Kengen, they were huge. In fact, Safaricom, I think it was over 10 million shares traded in the first day. So the trading volumes, if they go high, you can see in this screen there, I'm checking the trading volumes. If they go high, it will indicate that there are strong investors interest, and then liquidity of the stock will be good. But if they go down, it will signal a limited demand after the initial listing excitement. So you keep on watching that. Then the other thing you need to check is the price stability above the IPO price. The IPO price of 9, we can call it as the support, psychological support. If it goes above that, that means there is confidence in the share and also in the valuation of the share. But if it goes down below the support, the psychological support, it may signal that some investors believe that the IPO was slightly overpriced. The other thing to watch for is institutional investor activity. Of course, we all know that there are large institutions like NSSF, which are for the pension funds, and some fund managers, and these people by then they can strongly influence the stock. But if these institutional investors continue accumulating the shares, it could push the price higher over time. But if early investors begin selling aggressively, these institutional, if they are holding a substantial amount of the share, if they start selling aggressively, the price could face a downward pressure. So you keep watch, and if you're interested in it, keep watch of all these things and see whether you can join in. And for those ones who bought, whether they continue holding all the other things constant, or they can buy more. Thank you.